The one thing that I remember the most about being a kid was playing outside. Whether it was riding my bike or playing tag with my cousins, I always enjoyed the time spent having fun. I also remember that I was a clumsy child, as most kids are. I was more uncoordinated than the average 6-year-old. I tripped and fell often. At the end of every single day, I managed to scrape my elbow, my knees, or even sometimes both. 6-year-old me thought these injuries were the worst pain a human could possibly experience. As any 6-year-old would, I cried and I ran up to my parents, hoping they would do something, anything to make this pain go away. Of course, my parents asked what happened and if I was okay and tended to my cuts. Then they said those two familiar words. Stop crying. Make no mistake, I was clumsy, but I wasn't stupid. I'd concluded that my parents said this because the sound of a 6-year-old crying isn't the most harmonious thing in the world. In the years to come, the memory of these scars lingered. They lingered so often and so consistently that 10 years later, I wished I could go back in time and explain to curious, clumsy Larry what was going on. I wish I could help him understand that my parents telling me to stop crying was just one of the many instances where I was told to suppress my emotions. Why, you may ask? There is a simple, grounded, and scientifically supported answer. Because I am a boy. And boys can't cry or be sensitive. Boys are supposed to be strong and tough. And if you're not strong and tough, you might as well find some howly hellhole to work in. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong about being masculine. Of course there isn't. Men are given the freedom to be as masculine as they want, and that freedom is never denied. When was the last time you saw anybody criticize a man for mowing the lawn, playing baseball and other sports, or going fishing? But like all great things, masculinity comes with challenges. There is a mythical force that only some in our society believe to exist. It's called choice. And this force tends to mess with those who want masculinity to be upheld, whether it be for their husbands, brothers, employees, friends, and in my case, their sons. Yet I understand the motivation behind my parents or any parent's desire in watching their son to grow up to be the perfect image of tomorrow masculinity. Who wouldn't want to be a skilled fisherman, a strong-willed leader, and a symbol of strength in households? But I ask the question, does this mean that skilled fishermen can never fail to provide? Does this mean that strong-willed leaders can never express emotion? Does this mean that the strength of a man can never waver under any circumstance? I wish 6-year-old Barry was given the freedom to cry, to wail, to let out all the pain he felt. Where does the pain go if we keep it in for so long? Where does the pain go if we cannot let it out? Where does the pain go if we pretend it doesn't exist? The pain turns into a force that creates the opposite of an honorable, respected, moral man. The force created is toxic masculinity, which can be defined as being unable to accept or take advice from anyone else, using forms of violence to assert dominance or power over people, and of course, avoiding the expression of emotion as an attempt to avoid seeming weak. I wish I could go back in time and heal 6-year-old Larry, curious, clumsy Larry. Since then, I haven't learned to fish, I don't play baseball, and I'm definitely not the strongest guy in my grade at school. And while I haven't met the qualifications for the ideal tomorrow's son, there are reasons why I don't call my past self weak, pathetic Larry. The reasons why I don't call my past self weak or pathetic are I have plenty of people in my life who show me what true strength is. My best friend, Alea, who despite all odds managed to learn how to adjust and thrive in life here on island. My little brother, Giovanni, who always finds ways to pick himself up after he cries. And most especially, my mother, who continues to provide for my family, support my family, nurture my family, and love my family for who we are and who we grow into. And I've grown not into a fisherman, not a baseball player, and not a symbol of strength. I've grown into a kid who spends late nights finishing up assignments, who spends countless hours giving their all into Mount Carmel's amazing theater club, and who stresses about making their family proud in a TED Talk. To this day, I still trip and fall. But I don't tell myself to stop crying. I tell myself to start healing. Thank you.